nerd, geek, hacker. I'm labeled with so many things you could call me Post-it note. My name is Chris, and I live in California in the middle of nowhere. I'm currently 22 years old, and my favorite classes is technology, or really anything to do with numbers. So you should know I love using binary to stamp my friend Alyssa. It's really funny to see her try and figure it out. It's around 1:30 in the morning, and I am watching a scary video on YouTube. I came up to a channel called Toothark, weird name, but I clicked on a video called Extracting, and there was a figure with a white mask on it that had black lips, black eyebrows, and black eye sockets. I was so scared, and the message in the video made no sense. So I scrolled in the similar videos, and there was one with the channel name, Marble Hornets. I clicked on a video. It was called Entry 18, I think. The same figure was in it with a buddy. This made no sense. I had to go to bed. I was so tired it wasn't even funny. I felt the presence of something. I just didn't know what. When I woke up the next morning, there were drawings all over the wall and a doll that looked similar to the tall, pale as a snowman. I was a little scared, and then I also found a tape that was meant to be watched as it stated on the back saying, "Watch me." So I went to the store and bought a tape recorder and hooked it up to my television. The tape was a video of Alyssa exploring what looked like the woods around my house. She turned the camera to herself and said to the camera, "Oh my gosh, I'm so freaking scared." The camera glitched, and so I couldn't hear what she said. She continued with the visual interruption. "He's coming after me." Interrupting again. I followed her. I heard her stop walking, her eyes widened. "Found you." The camera was dropped, and Alyssa was screaming, "Get away! Get away! No!" She was cut off by a sharp cracking. A good 15 minutes passed by, and I was surprised the tape lasted that long. Suddenly, there was a high-pitched screeching sound, and I covered my ears in agony. It was the camera glitching again. Man, this camera is horrible. I saw that the camera had been picked up, and it was turned to Alyssa. Her neck snapped and blood seeping from it. Then it snapped to some masked figure I saw in the video last night. It looked as if it had a seizure, and then opened the door to my house, and then the door to my house busted open, where it seemed. My heart was beating a mile a second, and I grabbed my minigun, Magnum. I hid under my desk in duct tape pocket, and I yelled, "Who's there?" in a loud voice. The lights shut off, creeping me out slightly. I felt hands grab me from behind, and I shot, hitting a foot. That was not my own. I heard a scream, and I hit the guy with the butt of the Magnum, and he recoiled. But then he tackled me. I got punched in the face, and I yelled as the man grabbed the gun out of my hand and threw it across the room. He put his hands to my throat, crushing my windpipe, I guessed for air, and slapping his wrist. I passed out. The last thing I saw was him taking off his jacket and kicking me in the gut. "This character matches up with his letters," Chris said, pointing and looking at the masked figure. I nodded and patted her on the back. He turned and looked at the time. He sighed. I looked back at her, jerking his head towards the door. Chris nodded and quickly put on his brownish hood and put the black cloth over her face. It was designed with 2 red dots for eyes and a line for a frown. Oh yeah. Sorry for your foot, Tim," Chris said, sniggering and turning to the door. The masked figure Tim blushed behind his mask and turned her to him, putting his forehead to hers. Then she giggled and walked out the door. Tim was smiling. "Hey, operator, try not to eat her, okay?" There was a faint laughter in the distance, and he shut the door, following Chris, quiet as a mouse that was asleep.